Hi everybody, Mark here with Camino Tranquilo, and guess where I am? That's right, Cathedral Square in Santiago. Let me tilt you up a little bit. There you go. So anyway, I made it. I'm sorry it's been a while since I posted. The Wi-Fi has been hit and miss, so uh, I just have been kind of storing some stuff up and getting ready. So I've got 7 days worth of 7 days worth of info to ship off to you. But to be honest, from Triacastela here to Santiago, all of the days are kind of the same. They're very pleasant. Rolling hills, some challenging declines. But I'll cover all those a little bit more in depth here in a few minutes. But I just wanted to show you that, yes, here, I'm gonna spin you guys around. Ready? There you go. A brief glimpse. So I'm going to pause this, and then I'm going to go find a place that I can sit down, and we'll talk about the past 7 days. And then I got a Q&A, and that'll be the last Q&A. We'll do that right here from Santiago, and then after that, we'll see what happens at home. So bear with me. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I found a little shady spot here. It's really sunny today. It looks like there's a little haze in the air, but it's pretty sunny, so I'm trying to keep you and me out of the glare here. So anyway, let's cover the day by days. Overall, the weather has been glorious. There's been no rain since I talked to you guys last in Triacastela. It's been 40s or 50s in the morning when I got up. I like to leave by about 8:15, 8:30. And then by the time I get to my next destination at 2 to 3, whatever it is, it's been 75 and sunny. It's been some of the best hiking weather I've seen. Made great times. The trails have been nice and dry, a little dusty. That presents its own challenges. Sometimes you can get dust and little pebbles in your shoes, but not a hugely big deal. But all in all, a really nice time. So let's go day by day. Day 16, Triacastela de Sarria. A pretty, it's a gorgeous, all these days are kind of nice. They're all kind of the same, like I just said. Rolling hills, we're in the eucalyptus forest, saw my first orange tree. If you look around, people have them in their yards. So yeah, going from where we were before the Galician border and the mountain at Osprerio into Galicia here. I always say Galicia, it's Galicia. Yeah, being in the eucalyptus forests and seeing orange trees and palms and stuff, it's really kind of cool. And again, the flowers are crazy this time of year. So into Sarria, not a huge deal. Sarria is a fairly decent sized town because of the Camino traffic. I stayed at the Pension Sarria, and I just got it because honestly, okay, I'll cover this in just a second. I got it because I wanted something private, something with a decent bathroom and everything. And it turns out that it was sort of this great little remote controlled micro hotel where I checked in online. I got my door code. So I got the code for the outside door, the code for the inside door. I got in. I had a king size bed, which is crazy rare here. King size bed, a little couch and seating area. I had a little kitchenette, and it was like a block away from the grocery store. So I went down and got stuff, and they had, I say a kitchenette. They had a microwave and plates and stuff. They didn't have a stove or an oven or anything, but they had a little fridge. So I went down and I picked up stuff for dinner. I got a big loaf of bread, some meats, cheeses, a little like disposable bottle of aioli, garlic mayonnaise, a little bag of chips because I had the munchies, and some fruit for dessert. And the whole thing cost me 12 euros. That was enough. That's what I had for dinner. And I had the bocadillo, the other half of the bocadillo, the sandwich, while I was walking the next day, plus the fruit. So again, 12 euros, 12 to 20 euros goes a really long way here in Spain. It's pretty amazing. So from Sarria, the Camino changes really dramatically from Sarria. Dramatically from Sarria. Dramatically? kind of like that word. I might keep that word. It gets really crowded. Now we are in April, end of April, so there's a lot of kids, there's a lot of tour groups, and good Lord, when I say there's a lot of tour groups, there's a lot of tour groups. For privacy reasons, I didn't take a whole bunch of pictures of the folks on the trail. There's at least 4, maybe 5 school groups of upwards of 100 kids that were all walking with guardians, and they had vehicular support staff and such. There were some large groups of Spanish tourists, and again, 25 to 50 were all walking in groups. They were kind of fun to hang out with. It made getting lodging in the albergues a little bit challenging. Things were filling up. So from Sarria on in, I did have private rooms the whole way just because it got to be a real pain in the butt. And I could just pre-reserve the rest of the way in. So I went ahead and did that. So from day 17, Sarria to Portomarín, it was a little bit rough because those larger groups of people, anytime I needed to swing in to get an Aquarius or a Diet Coke or something, or refill a water bottle, there were always 25 to 50 people waiting. The bathrooms were always full. At one point, I just sat at a cafe and waited about 45 minutes for the crowd to go. And then I very consciously stayed behind them the whole way just so I would be able to get access to the things I needed. In fact, at the famous 100-kilometer Camino marker, looks like that. I just hit my microphone, sorry. Usually I get a picture of myself there, but there was a giant crowd of teenage school kids around, and I didn't want to be the creepy old guy wading through a group of kids. So I just hung out a little way up the path, waited for them to go, and then quickly snapped a picture because another group was right behind me. So it did get a little bit challenging. Sorry, I keep looking around. This place is packed. And I'm right next to the cops. Oh, this is where the wax seal vendors started around Sarria. When we walked the first couple of Caminos back in the day, there was like one dude who did wax seals at an albergue, and it was really cool. From Sarria to Portomarín to Palos de Rey, all of that, I stopped counting at 25. There's probably 50 or more between Sarria and Santiago. Is that a problem? Absolutely not. You rock in and get those wax seals. They're really cool. Old school medieval legal documents were sealed with a wax and then a stamp of the official. And these aren't official stamps. They're not official Camino stuff. It's just locals that are making a little extra money, doing some fun stuff. So yeah, by all means, stop and get some stuff. If you do get the celos, the wax celos, don't close your passport on them because you'll smudge that wax and it's kind of ugly. So, let them cool down. If you're my age, you remember flapping around the Polaroid. Gotta do the same thing. So the walk from Sarria to Portomarín is pretty long, and the very end of the walk into Portomarín, you've got a long bridge to go over, and then a kind of a nice set of stairs to go up. So all in all, it wasn't that bad. Again, weather was gorgeous, rolling hills. My next 2 days were very short days. They were only about 9 miles each, just to split it up a little bit. So Palos de Rey to Melilla, and then Melilla to Arzura. Those are both, for me, were short days. You could certainly do them if you get the legs for it in one day to shorten your Camino a little bit. I just like having a couple of shorter days to relax. Again, nothing really spectacular, just beautiful eucalyptus forests. Stayed in a couple of nice little places. I lucked out and I've kind of gotten places that have restaurants down below, which is really kind of nice. But I do miss the pilgrim vibe a little bit, but it's been fun. So the last 2 days, Arzura to El Pedruzo, a really gorgeous walk. It was about 12 miles. weather was fantastic. We had a breeze, just chugging along. I stopped a few times because these last 2 days, there's a couple of cafes where Clyde and I have sat and had a piece of cake and a cup of coffee, and Kelly and I have, and it's so much fun. The last 2 days, there's so many great memories that I kind of dawdled a little bit, but there's challenging hills. There's the cathedral. There's challenging hills. There's great valleys in the eucalyptus. It's a lot of fun. So, take your time, do some nice longer days, and enjoy yourself because you're reaching the end. The last day, Pedruzo, I can't say that. I'm terrible. To Santiago. So the first 2/3 of it are really nice. You're up there. You come by the airport. By the way, the airport's closed. It's closed till the end of May for runway maintenance. They were working on the runway when I came by yesterday. So if you tried to book airline tickets to come out from Santiago to fly back home, wherever you're not going to do it from here because the airport's closed. Sorry. Yeah, getting down through the eucalyptus forest, then you hit the outskirts of town, and the last third of it, you're walking on pavement through traffic all the way in. It's honestly not the nicest walk on the Camino. I always thought there should be a park or something, but there isn't. So I would like to walk into Burgos. If you go through the river park, it's gorgeous. But nope, you don't get that here. You get urban. So, but you're going to be walking that for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So just tuck in. There's a couple of places to stop if you want to take a little rest your little footy paws, and get a drink or whatever. There's places to do it, so feel free. And then heading into as we get into Santiago, you come into the Cathedral Square, and I like to walk up and touch the front gate here. And that's not where you go into the cathedral. You actually have to go around the backside that side to get into the cathedral to see St. James. But I like to touch the gate, say thanks to St. James and the man upstairs, his ethereal roommate, for another great Camino and being safe. And honestly, I'm ready to go home and see my wife and my critters. Probably in that order. But anyway, folks, thank you so much for following along on the Couch to Camino thing. And yeah, we are now Camino Tranquilo. That is the name of the channel. And I have some other planning stuff I'm going to be talking to you guys about. There's a surprise coming. Probably the week after I get back, I'll be making a little announcement here to give you guys some tools to make things a little easier for you. And we'll see how that goes. So here we go. From Santiago. I'll be back in the States next week, and we will talk to you then. But stay tuned, because I'm about to switch hands because my stupid tripod is giving me a wrist cramp, and we're going to do a quick Q&A from Santiago, and I'll see you guys later.